Hello, my name is David Webb, and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster, and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game, and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's my opponent to go first, and I have an S, which is good, and I have a reasonable vowel consonant balance, and I believe I have unloosed, and I think there is an anagram of that which is nodulos, but unloosed scores more. I'm going to put this down and then momentarily pause to consider if I have anything better. So what would be better would be a play through the A or the P. But I don't think... Well, let me just briefly put this back up. It's important not to rush these early moves. So is there anything through the P? No. Is there anything through the A? No. And then the other good tile is the D, if I can reach the triple word squares at A8 or O8. No, but I can't, or not that I can see, so let me get unloosed down. And I have 5 vowels, and I have the U and the W, which is not good at all. I need to play off one or both of the U and the W, and also try and address the vowel consonant imbalance. I have wall at D4, W-A-U-L. That would leave A-E-O-S, which isn't great, but it may be the best I can achieve in terms of rack leave. Can't see anything through the P, which is reasonable. I do have a vowel at G6 down. 23 points, that's not bad. And the rack leave there would be A-E-U-S, which is not as good as A-E-O-S, but is still better than changing. I don't think I have anything down from A8, because only the S goes after the U. Nothing goes in front or after paved. Okay, well that's the avow spot taken. The wall spot is still open, and my opponent hasn't provided any new opportunities with his play. The risk here is that I draw more vowels and again have a low scoring play, but I don't think there's anything better I can do. Yeah, 5 vowels again, and this really illustrates the problem of keeping vowel heavy rack leaves. But one doesn't keep these vowel heavy rack leaves deliberately, it's just a fact that once you have a vowel heavy rack, it's very difficult to turn it around. Hence the importance of learning short words which are vowel heavy. Now Pio Pio is good, but unfortunately I have only one I, so I can't play that exotic bird. Poo and oop are both good. The rack leaves there are A-E-I-S, which, if I draw consonants, is fine, but is vulnerable to drawing vowels. And I could play oop at C3 across. Wove takes an N after it. I don't have that. Now, YU takes a P after it, and I have a P. So I could play OPE, O-P-E, at A8 down. 26 points, that's not bad. And actually I can play opes for a lot more. Let's see what this scores. 41 points, that's a lot more than I was expecting with this rack. It does burn the S, but I don't mind burning it if I'm scoring 41 points. Seven vowels. Well, this makes life easy. I am almost certainly going to change. The only reason I wouldn't change would be if I could play off 3 or 4 of them and score about 20 points. Now the only 3-letter word I can see is A, I, A, and I can't see anywhere for that. I have a really small lead at this moment, 25 points. So I am going to change, and I will change 6 out of the 7 tiles and retain just the E. Well, in a way this is good because this is quite an easy decision. 7 vowels is horrendous. Okay, my opponent has not provided anywhere for me to play AIA or a similar word. And this is fantastic. I have the blank, I have many bingos. I've got aerobics. Sorry, aerobic is good. I'm not sure there's anywhere to play that. There aren't any 7-letter bingo lanes on this board. So I need to look at the floaters. And there's the floating F of flog, there's the P of paved, and there's the O of opes. Certainly the O of opes would be the highest scoring opportunity. And I did initially think that aerobic played there, and clearly it doesn't. So do I have anything beginning with the O? Well, not that I can see. The B and the C together are not great. With the right floater I would have bacteria and bacteric. So do I have anything through the F? Fabric is good. But then I would have an E and a blank, so I can't see a word based around fabric. Now, do I have anything beginning with the P? Or with P in second place? Not that I can see, and it doesn't feel good. There is one other bingo lane, which is column 5, either beginning with the A of paved or beginning 1 square above it. Bacteria nearly fits in, but CED is not good. So do I have a word beginning carbides? Great. Ah, that doesn't fit. There may well be something down here. I'm just going to mentally run through the alphabet with the A on my rack in addition to what's already there. I'm up to L and I haven't seen anything. Up to P and I haven't seen anything. Well, there could well be something here, but I'm struggling to see it. No, I can't see anything through that. Well, I'd like to spend a little bit longer looking. So I'm going to imagine the word beginning with the A. I think it's more likely to begin with the A than have A in second place, or certainly be easier to spot. So I'm just going to quickly run through the alphabet a second time, imagining an A in first position. So I've got the ab prefix. So a word like abricate, except that's not good. Air doesn't fit as a prefix. Gosh, this is frustrating. I think there is something here. This is a really promising set of letters. No, I can't see anything, so I now need to turn my attention to what to do with this rack as an alternative. Well, I can play Barik down here. 27 points. So frustrating. I'm sure there's a bingo with this rack. We'll find out later. So I have ordainer at a 8 across. And I have transia at K1 across, so I am going to be bingoing. Red takes an E after it, so there is a bingo lane in column 8 beginning at H8. So do I have a word beginning D, E or D-O? Nope, not that I can see. And it doesn't matter anyway because ordainer is available. Well, before I play this, I'm just going to challenge bar X in case it's not good. Great. That's a bonus. I'm glad I didn't let that slip through. Sometimes in your enthusiasm to get a bingo down, you pay less attention than you should to all the words made by your opponent. Ordainer, 74 points. And that is has now put me into a lead of about 80 points. And I've got a reasonable rack lead. Sorry, a reasonable rack. I don't have a 7 through an O. I would have collated. But I can't see anything through any other tile. There's not a great number of opportunities on this board. But I'm sure I'll be able to resolve this rack. It's difficult to play up in the top left-hand corner because the V is such an awkward letter. Well, 11 points for my opponent. He has not opened anything up, which from my point of view makes it difficult. There are very few scoring opportunities on this board. I'm going to struggle to get to even 20 points. I don't have a 6-letter play beginning at K5 with the C of Barek reaching across to the double word square. So I think I'm looking at words coming down from some of the floaters in ordainer. There's no particular letters I have to play, apart from one of the L's. Gosh, I don't want to play through the E because that would open up column 15, so I don't want to play through the D because it doesn't hit a double word square, so I'm really looking at the A, the I, and the N. Can't see anything beginning with the A. And I'm just looking for short words. Ictal is good. Let's see what that looks like. DEL is not a great rack leave at all. The L is a pretty dubious letter in terms of utility. It's good to keep the E, and the D is a good letter. Ictal, 14 points. That's pretty poor. But what are my choices? Well, I probably can't score very much more than this, and I'm not putting a vowel next to a premium square. So this probably isn't too dangerous. Famous last words. Right, through an R I would have loitered or dolerite. Neither of those goes through the final R of ordainer. I don't have a 7. Entoiled is good, but doesn't play through the N of ordainer. None of the tiles in Ictal are available as floaters for bingos. I have no scoring tiles on my rack, so I'm going to struggle to get above 20 points. Nothing goes through the E of ordainer. That just leaves the D, and there's nothing through that either. There is also the C of baric to consider. Well, that's just gone. What I can do with this rack is leave a decent rack for next go. Well, I could play code across here. Tile isn't a fabulous rack leave, but it's okay. It's 24 points, and it takes out the R, which would have been a good letter for my opponent to bingo in column 15. Can I do any better than this? Well, not that I can see. Now it's not good. I have two sets of duplicate tiles with the I and the T. I have no scoring tiles, so yet again I'm going to struggle to score more than 20 points. Fortunately, I am 90 points ahead. If I were behind, this would be a very frustrating rack to have. My opponent is only scoring in the low 20s, so that's good. He's not catching me. I don't have an N to go after chi. I do have tiles which go in front of ich. So I could play till. Well, that's providing a good opportunity for my opponent. Oh, I could do retitled in column 15. That might score more than 20 points. And it's good to play off 5 tiles. There is still a blank unseen. Okay, this plays off 6 tiles. Great. Retitled, 30 points. I don't think I'm going to find anything better. And there is the blank. Excellent. Do I have a bingo? I have duplicate I, duplicate M. I have feminism at E2 down. Yep, I do. What else do I have? I'm sure there are better bingos available. There should be something in column 14, I think. There's actually 2 or 3 spots on this board for 7-letter bingos, so I need to forget about the board and just think about the blank and see if I have a 7-letter bingo on my rack, and then see if it plays. So I'm just going to mentally run through the alphabet. Well, there's Jimmy's with a J. Well, that doesn't go. Great. Feminism has not been blocked. I'm carrying on with the alphabet. Miss Time is good. Does that go anywhere? No, it doesn't. Well, I suspect I may have missed some 7-letter bingos. But I can't see any. I'm not going to spend longer looking for them, otherwise I'm risking getting into time trouble. And feminism is going to be quite good. It's a volatile move in the sense that it provides several openings, but that's good in a way because I should be able to use at least one of them. Well, I have begonia. I would have ibogaine through an I. Begonia doesn't play on the board at the moment. It has no anagrams. Now, by feminism being volatile, what I mean is that there is the hotspot at H1 and there's also the hotspot at O1, and my opponent will struggle to take out both of those in one move. So whichever one he doesn't take, I can take the other. Okay, well he has taken out O1, but in a way which doesn't use it. So I could play Gob at H1, or Bog would be better. Goby is good. That's good. There are 2 I's left, so I don't want to keep the I unless I have to. So Goby, 37 points. That's a really nice score. And that totally closes out all of the openings created by feminism. Just looking around. I must remember that there is still a bingo lane in column 8 beginning with the D of paved. But I did not have one with that rack. And EAN, although there are 2 A's and 3 E's left, I am over 100 points ahead. That's not a bad rack leave. Good, I've got the J and the H and the Y. They're all good scoring tiles. I'm a long way from a bingo, but that doesn't matter. As long as I can score well, I should be able to see this game out. There are actually very few scoring opportunities on the board. There are quite a few bingo lanes open, but if my opponent uses any of them, he will be providing scoring opportunities for me. So what can I do with this rack on the board as it stands at the moment? I have an A to go in front of the G of fag at F10. Okay, so I could in that spot have a word beginning HA, so I could play Hadge in that spot. Now my opponent has opened up row N. Were I to close that down, it'd be hard to do so without opening up row O, which is far more dangerous. If I leave row N, if my opponent takes it, then he opens up row O. I simply need to consider, therefore, whether I can score well off row N. UR takes an N and an E after it of the letters on my rack. So I could play Jean. 25 points, that's pretty poor. It would be good to reach across to the triple letter square at N7. Can't see a way of doing that with any of the letters on my rack. Let's have a look what Hadge scores. 27 points, that's pretty good. It's providing no openings at all for my opponent. It's closing out a bingo lane. It is keeping duplicate E with 2 E's unseen, so I may have 3 E's, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah, that's fine. And I draw the Z, which is excellent. That's another good scoring tile. So I could play Z at N1 or N2. 27 points. This board is exceptionally tight. If my opponent doesn't have a bingo, I don't think he's going to score very much. Looking at the tiles that are left, they are quite bingo-y. But there are 6 vowels out of the 11 tiles, so my opponent may have a vowel-heavy rack, which would reduce his bingo prospects. Just looking around to see where my Z can play. Knees is good. NEEZE, so that could play in row N as well. I don't think I have any words beginning with E. Right. Yep, only 5 points for my opponent. There are 3 tiles in the bag. So in order to avoid my opponent bingoing out and ending the game, I would need to play off 1 or 2 tiles. Should I do that? Well, no, I don't think so. Even if he does bingo out, he's not going to win. I'm just looking around to see if there's anything better for my Z apart from the moves I've considered. So let's just move this across so that I do include the triple letter square. There's plenty of vowels in the bag, so I'm not worried about not keeping them. The Y is a proxy for a vowel anyway. 35 points, that's actually quite a good score. Yeah, I'm expecting my opponent to score reasonably well coming back, but it's not going to be enough for him to win. And my opponent has retains on his rack, so he is definitely bingoing out. So he could play Anestri at 05 across, or Ratines. Yep, there it goes. Okay, so pass to end the game. And the final score is 369 to my opponent, 454 to me. So a win by a margin of 85 points. Let's see what I missed. So, my opponent went first, and I had unloosed and nodulose. Unloosed was better. Yeah, this was a grim rack. What did I do? I played wall, and, well, I don't think the other suggestions are significantly better. Appos was playable instead of opes, and that would have been better. It would have retained the E rather than the A, so that was, my play was mildly suboptimal. Well, the suggestions there are not better than changing. And the bingos I missed were carabine and fireback. I wouldn't have been sure of fireback. And although I will have studied carabine, yeah, I do know carabine because it takes an R after it, so that was a miss. Ordena was the best play there. I didn't see Orangia, which wasn't as good, but did play in the same spot, and there were numerous other bingos. This was a tricky rack. Alcalde, that's quite nice. Doesn't score a huge amount, but it certainly plays off a lot of tiles and scores reasonably well. But I think Ictal isn't far behind. Great, no missed bingos here. And code at B12 is what I played. Retitled looks like it was best. Right, here I could have played in mixes. That would have been good. 85 points at H14 next to the D of retitled and playing down. So feminism for 68 points was 17 points fewer, and it was strategically worse. So in mixes was significantly better. And the others, mimesis, mimsia, gosh, certainly should have seen that. Oh, I see, underneath the H of itch, I didn't think to look for words beginning with M. And of course Miss Time would have played in that same spot, so that was a bad miss. Obaya at G1. Yeah, that would have been the same number of points as Gobi, but it would have kept 2 consonants and 1 vowel. So slightly better from that perspective. Here, a G and Jane both at N1. I think Haj is fine. And knees at N3. Oh, I see. Yeah, 1 square to the right of where I played it scores more because it places the Z on the triple letter square. Only 2 points more, but that would have been better. And then my opponent bingoed out. So that's the end of that. 1 missed bingo in carabine and fireback. But apart from that, it was fairly well played. I think there are a number of interesting spots to consider. So I hope you enjoyed watching that. My name is David Webb, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.